Hi everybody, welcome to 5 Minute Ministries. I want to talk about some things I've noticed in recent times, and to a degree, some of these things really aren't that recent. There are a lot of people who are fighting for things like equal rights. They're standing up against violence against certain groups of people, and specifically and especially women. They're fighting to try to get violence out of movies, TV, and especially cartoons. They're trying to stand up for the good of all people. They want more love, they want more tolerance, they want more of a lot of things that is beneficial for everybody. The thing is, though, when you tell them that all of these ideas are actually biblical, suddenly they turn it on its head. Suddenly, if you say that, you are a bigot, you are a hypocrite, there's a list of names that are almost endless of the things that you are, because you said the very things that they are fighting for, the things they're standing up against, God had already said that's what you should be doing. But because God said it, apparently it's not a good idea anymore. People fought so long to have their rights, and now that they've gotten them, things are going south, so to speak, and people are trying to instill biblical principles to stand up against the very things that are going wrong. And when you say this was God's idea in the first place, then suddenly people don't want to talk about it. I've also noticed that people are standing up against the Bible. They will ask all kinds of questions, and say statements like, well, it was written by man, how can a loving God send people to hell? And they'll have all these things that really aren't new. These questions have been asked for a very, very long time, and they have been answered every time. But they want to say, well, the Bible was written by men, so we can't trust it. However, they'll trust writings about people like Genghis Khan and Alexander the Great, Abraham Lincoln, Fidel Castro, anybody who's famous, and they'll believe those words that are written. But when they say, oh, the Bible can't be trusted because it was written by men, everything was written by men. The Bible was written by men with the inspiration of God himself. Now, when that's being said, it means what God wanted written down was written down, even though it was written by the hands of human beings. But people still they say we can't trust the Bible, but they will trust their owner's manual. They will trust instructions to build something. They will trust another person's word. They will trust science. They will trust politics. They will trust social justice warriors, out of lack of a better term. They will trust all these people, but because the Bible was written by men, they can't trust it. Well, the thing is, human beings may have written the Bible, but God has in there exactly what he wants. We have no evidence for God. Well, we don't have any evidence for Genghis Khan either. So, well, yes, we do. We have writings, we have archaeological evidence, we have this, we have that. We have the same thing, evidence you have for historical figures, you have for God and his word. Another thing people will say is, those who believe in God are intolerant. They don't accept this, they don't accept that. They won't accept this group, they won't accept that group. They won't accept other religions. They won't accept, when what you believe is supposed to be the only way, why would we accept other ways? God said he is the way, the truth, and the light. No one gets to heaven but through him, and I'm paraphrasing. Now, if he says that, why would I want to include other religions? People want to be so inclusive, they want to exclude those who have a different opinion. And that's a really big problem because, quite frankly, if you're going to be tolerant and all-inclusive, you have to include others who are exclusive, who say there is a different way, who say something that is different than you. I've noticed that about the world. They want to be all-inclusive, and really what they're saying is, I want to be able to do and think and say whatever I want without consequence, without anyone telling me I'm wrong, without anyone telling me to shut up, without anyone telling me anything different. Just leave me alone and let me do what I please. But they will go out of their way to make sure that if you follow the God of the Bible, if you follow Jesus Christ, then you are wrong. You are a bigot. You're a hypocrite. and you have no place, and that's extremely intolerant. The people around me and the world around me, and it really doesn't matter where you go, there are these types of people everywhere, and there are followers of Christ everywhere, and there's always going to be a butting of heads. And the reason being, people don't want the things of God. They want the things of themselves. And I'm going to be talking about a few things like that, some of the arguments and some of the questions, some of the reasons that people don't want anything to do with God. And I'll be starting that series at some point. But I just wanted to discuss some things that I have noticed, and I've noticed a few things, but we'll have to talk about that at another time. This has been 5 Minute Ministries, and I'll see you next time.